Hi, this is Dr. Pete Butkins. Welcome to part 5 of my 7-part model on helping your child when your child's using drugs and or alcohol. Part 5 involves intervention, and I'm going to tell you the number one thing to do in order to ensure that you'll be successful. Without doing this one thing, you probably will fail. 9 times out of 10, you won't succeed. This is an effective tool which will ensure that you'll help your child become relieved of this, arrest this problem that's affecting kids all over the world and ruining our society. It's a disease that takes your child away from you. Now, the tool I'm talking about when doing an intervention, after you've decided that your child has a problem and you've decided it is either addiction or abuse, and you've kept the relationship intact, you've been able to communicate effectively and let the child know you're in charge of the family, and you've formed a relationship with your partner, and you're united as a team, and you're in charge of the family. The number one tool for doing an intervention, talking to your child about this and setting boundaries, is preparation. With preparation, you can effectively talk to your child, use a little sub-model that I'll present in a minute, and set your boundaries and let your child know you mean business. You have to decide what you're going to say. You have to write it down, and then you have to rehearse it. If you write it down, you will not only understand what you want to say, but you will also be able to rehearse it in a way that you can eliminate any emotional responses, any inaccurate information, and you can kind of clear up what you're willing to do and not do. The submodel involves talking to your child in 3 parts. First, I love you, I care about you, that's why I'm here. I'm not giving up on you. Number 2 is, when you did this, I felt this, and it really made me want to do this. When you showed up the other night with blood on your shirt and you told me that you had hit a stop sign, I was scared, I smelled alcohol in your breath, I was very scared, and I got really angry at you, and it just made me want to I don't know what it made me want to do. It made me want to just kick you out. It made me want to give up on you. I was feeling hopeless. Another example would be when you came in at 1 in the morning the other night, and I saw your pupils were dilated, you seemed high, you seemed to be staggering. I was real concerned about you. I was scared. I felt really frustrated because we talked about this before and you don't seem to be doing anything about it. And because of that, I'm going to ground you for a month. Or when you failed out of school, or when I found out you were skipping school a lot and going out, and you got caught for using drugs, I felt disgusted, discouraged, I felt really, really angry, and I just wanted to disown you. Those are extreme examples, but you'll have your own examples. The third part of this is, because of this, I found it necessary to, and then you fill in the blank. And filling in the blank will depend on, setting the boundaries like this will depend on whether you've got abuse or addiction. If you've got abuse, you can work with the person, find out why they're abusing, because usually a person is abusing because they're partying with their friends. But if they're partying with their friends and it's not working, usually they'll stop. If it's a problem with the family, if it's causing headaches, if it's causing problems with school, if they're getting to where they're apathetic about school, failing, maybe the girlfriend or the boyfriend has cut them loose, and there are consequences, usually they will not use, they don't want to use, they're not getting cravings, they don't get withdrawals because they're using all that much, and they're not developing a tolerance to where they have to use more to get the same high, etc. So if you're looking at abuse, then you're looking at a problem that is a lot more easily fixed. Then you're going to see a therapist, find out why they're using. It might be 1 or 2 sessions, it might be a couple months, but whatever, you're probably going to want to do family therapy. If your child wants to do individual therapy, that's fine too, but usually they don't, and usually individual therapy doesn't work. There's a phenomenon called identified patient, and nobody wants to be one. So if you view this as a family problem, a lot of times it's much, much easier. It's, son, you can come to me with this kind of problem and we will work it out. The other possibility is you're dealing with abuse. And the third part of that model, when you set consequences, you have to let the person know, in order, you're underage, you're doing something illegal, I'm not willing to tolerate it, you're going to treatment. Or you're going to go to a hospital to detox. Or we're setting up the home as a therapeutic environment. The key to this, though, is finding out what the child wants to do. The question you're going to have to ask at the end of the intervention is, what do you want to do? Do you want treatment? Do you want help? If they say no, you've got a problem. If they say yes, then it's workable. If they say no, then you're going to have to work on a deeper intervention more than likely. But that's the key to the intervention. It's preparation. I ran a treatment program. I owned a treatment program for adolescents in the 80s and 90s for about 12 years. And after the parents would take this position where they would set boundaries and set up the home as a therapeutic environment, put the child in an outpatient treatment program, and not waver. Once they set boundaries, once they had family rules and they did not waver, the child would report in group, usually, that my parents have smartened up, I can't pull the wool over their eyes anymore, I can't put it over on them anymore. And usually that's the point when the kids turn around. And by that time, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a treatment center, if they're in a good program, they'll start owning up to how much they did use. Usually it's a lot more than they admitted at first time. So this is the key to intervention. It's preparation. It's really taking this seriously, writing it down, realizing that this is a serious moment, and this is a crisis situation, and you want to do it right. You want to make sure you do it right. My book, No Relief for the Family, is on DocPete, DocPete, theimperfecttherapist.com. And you can find my book on there for $29.95, and you can get details on this along with 10 traps that you can run into in doing this, and also 10 things that you're going to want to do that you do not want to miss, you do not want to exclude when you deal with your child's problem with using. This is Doc Pete, and I'm glad you listened to this. Stay tuned for the 6th video. Bye bye now.